3 games, 10 years, one legendary trilogy that redefined superhero gaming forever. And then this happened.
At how surprisingly bored I was after just the first 2-3 hours.
One of the most disrespectful, tasteless, tone-deaf pieces of media I have ever watched.
This is the story of how the kings of Batman gaming threw it all away with a single catastrophic decision. Today we're talking about Rocksteady Studios, the team that gave us the Batman Arkham trilogy, 3 of the greatest superhero games ever made. But their latest release, it lost Warner Brothers $200 million and might have killed the studio forever. So how did the Batman Masters become gaming's biggest disappointment? Let's find out. The humble beginning. Our story begins in 2004 with 2 guys in London, Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker. Their first game, Urban Chaos Riot Response, was a riot control FPS that nobody really played. But it caught the attention of Eidos Interactive, who had just secured something incredible: the rights to make a Batman game. Now, Batman games in 2006, they were mostly garbage, but Rocksteady had a vision. They wanted to create the definitive Batman experience, and with The Dark Knight about to hit theaters, the timing was perfect. Arkham Asylum, lightning in a bottle. Then came 2009 and Batman Arkham Asylum dropped like a bomb. This wasn't just another licensed cash grab, this was art. The combat was rhythmic and brutal, making you feel like the goddamn Batman. The writing was penned by Paul Dini, the legend behind Batman, the animated series. And the voice cast, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, reprising their iconic roles. The game was tight, atmospheric, and respected the source material without being shackled by it. It sold over 2 million copies in its first year, and critics went absolutely insane for it. But that success got noticed. Warner Brothers swooped in and acquired Rocksteady in 2010. The perfect sequel. 2 years later, Arkham City proved lightning could strike twice.
What will happen to Mr. Wayne behind these walls? Known as an international playboy, he will now have to contend with convicted thieves, murderers, and cannibals.
Taking everything great about Asylum and unleashing it in an open world, it was bigger, better, and more ambitious. 12 million copies sold. Critics called it a masterpiece. Fans called it the greatest superhero game of all time. At this point, Rocksteady could do no wrong. They weren't just the Batman guys, they were the guys you could trust to make anything great. Taking a pause here, just a few seconds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because trust me, you won't want to miss how this story unfolds. Corporate interference begins. But even during their golden age, Warner Brothers was planting red flags. Remember the Catwoman DLC in Arkham City that was locked behind an $8 VIP pass unless you bought new? Yeah, that was WB testing the waters for more aggressive monetization. Then came Arkham Origins in 2013, but this one wasn't made by Rocksteady. WB Games Montreal took over. And while it was decent, it felt rushed and borrowed heavily from City's map. It was like WB was saying, we don't need Rocksteady to make Batman games. The technical marvel and disaster. 2015's Arkham Knight should have been Rocksteady's crowning achievement. On consoles, it was a technical marvel. The Batmobile, rain-slicked Gotham, absolutely gorgeous visuals that still hold up today. But the PC launch, one of the worst disasters in gaming history. The game was so broken that WB actually pulled it from Steam, one of the few online games ever removed post-release. Refunds were offered, patches came eventually, but the damage to trust was done. Corporate greed intensifies. Meanwhile, WB's business practices were getting shadier. In 2014, they were quote secretly paying PewDiePie and other influencers to promote Shadow of Mordor without disclosure. Then Shadow of War launched with predatory loot boxes in a single-player game. But the most anti-consumer move, they patented the Nemesis system, that innovative AI mechanic everyone loved, making it off-limits to other developers forever. The writing was on the wall. Warner Brothers cared more about squeezing revenue than making great games. The long silence.
So why end the trilogy? Why end Rocksteady's run with Batman with this one?
That's a good question. I mean, we've been working on it for, I guess, probably 8 years now, and it's a long time to work on it. And we kind of feel like, this is the natural end for the story.
After Arkham Knight, Rocksteady went radio silent for years. Fans speculated wildly. Nightwing, Superman, Wonder Woman, the possibilities seemed endless, especially with DC trying to build their own cinematic universe.
But we've not thought too much about what's next because...
But nothing happened, just cryptic teasers about fans losing their minds when they finally revealed what's next. The reveal that broke hearts. August 22nd, 2020. The date that changed everything. After 5 years of waiting, Rocksteady finally revealed Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League. The initial reaction actually pretty positive. Batman was back, voiced by Kevin Conroy one final time. The premise was intriguing, even if fans wanted Superman instead. But behind the scenes, the studio was falling apart. Internal chaos. Between 2018 and 2020, allegations of workplace misconduct surfaced. Female employees and minorities faced harassment that had allegedly been ignored for years. Rocksteady issued public apologies and promised change, but the damage to company culture was severe. Then came the delays, first pushed to 2023, then 2024. Each delay came with promises of making the best game we can, but insiders knew the truth was much darker. The live service pivot. When gameplay was finally shown in 2023, the devastating truth was revealed. Gone was the dark, story-driven single-player experience fans expected. In its place, a quirky looter-shooter with bullet sponge bosses, flying UI elements, and those dreaded words: live service, always online, co-op. The timing couldn't have been worse. Anthem had failed, Marvel's Avengers had failed, Redfall had failed. Every studio that pivoted from single player to live service had crashed and burned. Yet here was Rocksteady making the exact same mistake. What went wrong? According to a damning Bloomberg report, the rot ran deep. Originally, Suicide Squad was being developed by WB Games Montreal, but after the 2016 Suicide Squad movie's success, WB wanted in on the live service gold rush. They handed the project to Rocksteady with explicit instructions to make it multiplayer and monetizable. Hill and Walker were initially excited to tackle a new DC property, aiming for 2020, but WB executives pushed hard for live service, calling it the future of gaming. Tragically, Rocksteady's own internal leadership agreed. The Exodus. Then came the ultimate blow. Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker, the co-founders who built Rocksteady from nothing, left the studio just months after the first delay. They started a new company called 100 Star Games, taking much of the original talent with them. The ship was sinking and the captains had abandoned it. Development hell. What followed was development hell. A culture of toxic positivity took over where criticism wasn't welcome and doubts were dismissed. The game shifted from melee combat to third-person shooting, completely revamping everything. Entire script chunks were scrapped and rewritten. Vehicles were added, then removed. Team members waited weeks for approvals on tiny changes. Leadership kept insisting it would all come together just like Arkham had. But this wasn't Arkham, this was a nightmare. Pre-launch disasters. January 2024, 1 month before launch. Even press previews were negative, including IGN's brutal "we played it and didn't like it." Review codes were extremely limited. Even major outlets were left in the dark. Early access launched on January 29th for people who paid $100 for the deluxe edition. Within 1 hour, the servers crashed because the game auto-completed the story upon login. Players were furious, and only about 7,000 people were even playing on Steam. Launch week nightmare. By release day, Steam numbers barely doubled. Reviews ranged from mixed to negative. The game that was supposed to be Rocksteady's triumphant return was being savaged by critics and ignored by players. 9 years for Rocksteady to follow up on one of the most seminal trilogies in gaming history, and this is what we got. The criticism was relentless. Graphical downgrades from Arkham Knight, poor writing, character assassination of beloved heroes, and blatant disrespect for the Arkham legacy. the $200 million loss. The numbers don't lie. Suicide Squad caused Warner Bros. To bleed $200 million, more than the budget of the 2016 Suicide Squad movie. This resulted in a 41% year-over-year revenue drop for WB Games. But instead of cutting their losses, they doubled down. The DLC disasters. They slashed the price by 90% and released their first DLC season featuring the Joker. The result, a pathetic 3,000 player peak. Outlets called it unbelievably bad, void of content, and a mountain of grinding. Season 2 somehow did even worse, with cosmetics like a literal trash bag outfit selling for $10. By Season 3, the game couldn't even break 300 concurrent players on Steam. By early 2025, the live service was officially dead. They finally added the offline mode players had begged for, but it was too little, too late. And the ultimate slap in the face, the story revealed that all the Justice League characters, including Batman, were just clones. It was all a bad dream, a $70 grindy fever dream. Mass layoffs and studio gutting. Multiple rounds of layoffs followed the game's failure. The Rocksteady that created the Arkham trilogy was effectively dead, gutted by corporate greed and mismanagement. The ship of Theseus. While Rocksteady technically still exists, with rumors of a Batman Beyond sequel in development, it raises the ship of Theseus question. If most of the original talent is gone, is it even Rocksteady anymore? The real Rocksteady, Hill, Walker, and over 100 industry veterans now work at 100-star games, free from corporate interference and red tape. WB's continued failures. As for Warner Bros., they cancelled Monolith's Wonder Woman project and shut down the studio, all while doubling down on live service games despite Hogwarts Legacy's massive single-player success. The tragic lesson. The fall of Rocksteady is more than just a business failure. It's a tragedy. A studio that gave us 3 of the greatest games ever made, destroyed by corporate greed and the chase for live service money. It's a cautionary tale we've seen before with studios like BioWare, and sadly we'll probably see again. When publishers prioritize monetization over creativity, when they force beloved single-player developers into live service, hell, everybody loses. Hope for the future. But maybe there's hope. The real talent is still out there, building something new at 100-star games. They learned from this failure and they're free to create without corporate suits breathing down their necks. Final thoughts. So remember Rocksteady not for Suicide Squad but for the trilogy that changed gaming forever. Remember them for making us feel like Batman, for showing that licensed games could be art, for proving that with enough passion and vision anything is possible. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see that magic again someday. What do you think? Could Rocksteady ever return to form, or are they done forever? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe for more gaming industry stories. And hey, if you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description for gamer subs or my Patreon. Every bit helps me make more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep gaming, but maybe avoid live service disasters.